Alrighty guys, we're back with another reaction video. This time though we're going to do more of a lore analysis. Because you see, I've already seen the trailer. I watched it last night while I was at work in the ICU, and wow, there is... So one hand is, I'm actually excited. I like Space Marine. It was a fun game. It was fun. Now, was it necessarily lore accurate? Parts of it got wrong, parts of it got right. Every Warhammer 40K video game is wrong and right in some aspects. But this trailer, mind you, I like Tyranids, but I like the Imperium more. But I do think Tyranids are pretty cool. And nothing about how they demonstrated Tyranids in this trailer really resonated with me. And there was also a few other things about like the design of the character that I just didn't really like. So let's go ahead and take a look. So we got our standard intro. You got your 3 dropships coming inbound, or Thunderhawks, my bad. I love it too, and how like it's probably a different world, but yet it's treated the exact same in that it's just some random hive world, probably important to some extent. Yep, there we got some Tyranids. There we go, we got a crazy ass fight.
Command! This is first platoon! We've lost the square! We can't hold it!
Now, what I don't like is how we don't hear anything on the Vox there. Because I was expecting like a lot of noise to come back where like he just hears other people screaming like, yeah, we lost it too. We'll try your best. Just pull back to some area that you can defend, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was expecting that. But then you have this, and this is kind of weird. So the Tyranids actually have personality, which is not what I was expecting from a hive mind. Like, we even saw it a little bit earlier, but there was just a Tyranid just sitting here, yeah, on the wall. Like, literally just sitting on the wall, just yelling, just screaming. That's not something that I was expecting Tyranids to do. Because you have to remember, like, they're not pack animals. They're pack animals when they're not connected to the hive mind. That's true. But when they're connected to the hive mind, usually they don't do much. They may scream and stuff when they're charging at you. But just randomly noticing something and screaming so that way everyone around them can hear them, that's not Tyranid. They don't communicate like that. Because again, they're all part of one singular mind. And when they're feral, when they're not connected to that hive mind, they're actually killing each other just as much as they're killing everyone else. They become cannibals. So again, they don't form packs, they don't do stuff like that. So back to this. Yeah, like, see, here he is roaring at the sky for no reason. Dumb as hell. I do like that. I like that a lot. So I like that a lot right there, and how they added the destruction physics. Because these guys weigh like tons. These guys are heavy as fuck. And I also like this, on how each of them are different customization. This is something you can see better, like he's got his own little shield on top of his pauldron. He's also got a red helmet, which is interesting. And then you got the main guy in here, and look, he's got a skull on there. This guy's not too ornate, so he's probably new. That's probably Leandros. Oh my god. But you see his helmet's got all these customization details. The sword, though, doesn't have much, the sword itself doesn't have much customization, which again is kind of odd. It should be customized. Now, something that you just missed, but I picked up that pissed me off more than anything, is this. Why are they walking back? Why are they hesitating? Why are they demonstrating fear? This is not Tyranids. Tyranids do not do this. Now, Tyranids may analyze someone. They may just stop dead in their tracks and just look at you and go, I wonder how I'm gonna deal with you. They'll do that. But they won't back into a corner, go, oh, I'm pissing in my jeans right now. No, they're not gonna do that. But don't worry, it gets worse. Again, the whole roaring thing, it's not really a thing. And then this. Why is he still standing there just yelling instead of joining the fight? Like Tyranids, every time we've watched Tyranids, every time we've read the books, like even in Caiaphas Cain, in his own little short story, where he becomes a commissar, like officially posted. When he fights Tyranids, they fight in this massive mob of highly organized, highly trained troops that, again, it's a hive mind. They're not individuals. There is no need to like raise them up, grow them up, and train them in certain things. No, the hive mind knows what to do with each guy. It knows how to fight with each individual unit inside its army. And they form these death balls where they just charge through, and it could be Carnifexes, Hormagaunts, whatever you name it, all inside one big ball. It doesn't need to be something like this where you would just have a guy sitting in the back going, yeah, charge into victory for me. Okay, you're all dead. All right, now it's time for me to charge at him. That is not Tyranid. Tyranids do not do that. Yep, here we go. He's fighting. I do like this, though. So the combat here is really good. It's really spot on. And the main reason why is that, if you guys recall, Warhammer Space Marine 1, the sword, the chain sword, was more used as a chainsaw, where he would just stop and just brrr. This time they've learned. They've learned, and they're using it more as a sword, where he's actually like swiping people down with this thing. And the sawing mechanic is just really an added feature. This thing is more than enough to just cut people aside, like a regular sword. Because usually that's how Space Marines use it. See, there we go. There we go. The Tyranids are fleeing. They're running away. Usually Tyranids don't run away. There has been, I think, like a few occasions where they did back off. But it wasn't a full-on sprint runaway, especially for those. The little Hormagaunts, like, no. Those things would probably just swarm them and just try their best to do some damage, while the rest of the hive mind assembles up a force to actually deal with this. This is not lore canon at all. Like, there is nothing about this that's screaming to me, wow, yeah, that's totally how a Tyranid would fight, yeah! No, nothing about that there screams Tyranid. That's why I hated this trailer so much. But besides that, I'm loving everything else. Like, I love on how the guardsmen are just shocked. They have no idea what the fuck to do about this. They don't know. It's actually funny is that in the Siege of Rax, one side was being aided by the Alpha Legion, and they were just stunned. They were like, wow, these are the Emperor's Angels. They have zero idea what Chaos Marines look like. They don't even know they exist. But here's Imperial Guardsman probably shitting himself. Good thing he brought the brown pants today. Yep. And then here we get some more details. We get like a purity seal, which is nice. He's got a little bit of chain on there, a little bit of Inquisitor stuff. Awesome. I love it too, and how he's got the logo on his backpack. Fucking great. Love it. But this was one of the issues I had with Warhammer 40K Space Marine 1. Was for Warhammer 40K Space Marine 1, you're a captain, and you had no decorations. Like, 0 decorations were on his armor. It was just basic paint. It's like, what? As a captain, you should have all these studs, these insignias on it, any sort of decals on it. You should have a lot of customization, a lot of gold flares on it, especially an Ultramarine. Dear God. Ultramarines are almost as bad as Emperor's Children when it comes to their customization. I do like this. You can tell that this is Akkadian infantryman by his eyes. His eyes are purple. Most Akkadian men have mutations of some sort because they're so close to the Eye of Terror. But the most minor, the least, let's say you have 0 mutations at all and you're Akkadian Guardsman, you would have purple eyes. That's the bare minimum, it's just the purple eyes. I do like that a lot. And here we get to the worst lore part about this. You ready? Here it is. Boom. He's got 4 service studs now. Yikes. Now you may think, why am I concerned about the service studs? Well, here's the reason why. You see how they're gold? They're not regular steel color anymore. The metallic composition of a stud does actually change the significance of the stud itself. Some chapters are different. Some chapters, they don't care what it is. You just slap a stud on there. The one Space Marine chapter we know of, the Nova Marines, each stud represents 50 years. And in this case, he's got 4. Supposedly, Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 is set 200 years after Space Marine 1. If that's the case, this would make sense you'd have 2 extra studs tacked on there. But the fact that it's gold, I think that was a fuck up. I think that was a lore fuck up. Because, mind you, we don't know enough about the Ultramarines on how they view the studs. We know a lot about them, but we just don't know how they view the studs. But the one chapter that I'm thinking of, it's not Blood Angels. I know I was about to say Blood Angels. Dark Angels. Dark Angels. Dark Angels, they have it where gold actually represents 100 years, not 50. 50 would be silver, I believe. And then metallic is just 10 years. It's a dying practice. Not a lot of chapters do this. Mostly it's based on the individual. Some individuals like it. When I was younger, I thought that these were just like parts of their skin that was just off. I thought this was actually like part of their cranium. But no, this is actually like a metal stud that they put in their skin. And the fact that this is gold, it really bothers me. Because that could mean like 100 years. So what, he's been serving for 400? If that's true, that's fine. Because I have no doubt in my mind, he probably is 400 years old. Undoubtedly 400 years old. But in 40K Space Marine 1, they were just 2 metal tacks. That was it. Just 2 metal tacks. They're not gold. They were just gray-ass metal. So it bothered me a lot. That's why I had to make this video. It was just because the Tyranids bothered me a lot. The tacks, they represent something. They represent years of service. And depending what composition they are, that could change everything. If it's metal, that's just regular metal, fine, whatever. If it's gold, that's something else entirely. And apparently he turned into a Primaris. The fact that he turned into a Primaris Marine honestly doesn't bother me. Because it seems like just about every Ultramarine turned into Primaris. And Robert Gilliman is really trying to push it that all the first generation Marines should upgrade to Primaris. He's trying the best he can, so it makes sense to me. Now, my only thing is, I'm curious if they're going to show Gilliman, if they're going to show him at all. But here's some gameplay footage, and it's pretty cool what they show. Jesus. But see, this is, the gameplay-wise, it looks lore accurate. Like, see, they're just swarming him in just this death ball of shit. It's just a death ball of shit. There's no, like, oh, hold on, guys. Like, these guys over here are the same ones in the trailer that he just had a duel with. You don't see them just standing there going, yeah, Tyranids for the win, yeah. Oh, shit, you're all dead. Okay, time for me to fight. Like, that's not Tyranid. This is Tyranid, where they're just charging at you, blind as hell. They don't give a fuck. Like, the whole point of Space Marines fearing Tyranids is that, I like the way Cyrus says it in Dawn of War 2. We are fear incarnate, but we're fighting an opponent who cannot feel fear. It's scary as hell. They have no qualms about wasting their life. They don't give a fuck how many of them die. You could lay waste to all of his buddies in less than a second, and that Tyranid is still going to charge at you with reckless abandon. So, this whole trailer thing here, where like you see the Tyranids running away, no, not happening. Sorry, it pisses me off more than anything. I get it, you know, they're trying to make it cinematic. I get that a lot. And the person who did this did a great job with the coloring, with the whole shade and smoke. Love it. Good job. I also like on how his armor is customized. Great. Problem is, you kind of fucked up the lore there. You fucked it up real bad. Now, in my personal opinion, I think his armor isn't customized enough. It's just me. Like, I kind of wish he had like a hair frill or something like that on there. That would be cool. Maybe if he had some extra like plating or different pieces of armor on there, like if he had some studs, like bolt studs on his armor, that'd be fucking cool as hell. So really, that was my only issue, is that he's not customized enough. There's actually a Warhammer 40K Space Marine mod for the game, and it's just for the campaign. It just simply makes it where he's like highly decorated, and it's actually more decorated than this. Like, he doesn't have any laurels at all. He doesn't have like ropes on his pauldron, like red ropes. Yeah, that's sad when a mod has more customization than your official game. That is sad. But I do find it enjoyable. They're going a step in the right direction. I don't like how his sword, let me see if I can find it here. His sword isn't that customized. See? It's just plain chainsword. Yeah, see, it's just a plain chainsword. Plain stalker bolter, plain stalker bolter. Oh, there's the bolter, my bad, doesn't have the scope on it. But yeah, just plain bolters, no customization. Like, really, dude? These are the Ultramarines we're talking about here. Like, they're assholes. They love to show all their fucking insignias and blemishes. They love it. They're, as I said, they're as bad as Emperor's Children when it comes to that regard. They're really bad about that. But all in all, I'm pretty excited for it. I'm really stoked for it. The only issue is going to be is just the explanation of how he got away from the Inquisitors. My hunch is that he's actually a psychic blank. In other words, he has no soul. That's my personal hunch, and that's why he's resistant to the chaos, to warp. But that would be new. A blank Space Marine? Whew, that'd be cool as fuck. It'd also be a little questionable too, like, because usually Inquisitors don't like, for such rare subjects like this, to just go away and go back to their chapter. If I was an Inquisitor and I just saw a Space Marine who could take on an entire war host of orcs and Chaos Marines and was immune to the taint of chaos, I would not let him out of my service. He'd be in the Death Watch, he'd be in my own personal army, something. He would be just one of those Marines who wears straight black armor, no insignias, no nothing, completely mind scrubbed. Like, dude, I'd be using the shit out of him as like any sort of tool would. And that's usually how Inquisitors do things. But I don't know. I'm really more curious though about how Robert Gilliman's going to handle this, because he's an Ultramarine who's not really an Ultramarine. He disregards the Codex Astartes blatantly. He brazenly tells people, you know, not to rely on that thing, just use his guidelines. Gilliman, even though he's returned, he still kind of adheres to that codex, because he's like, this book is really well written. Even like 10,000 years later, it's very tactically accurate. So I would love to see that. I would love to see that where he talks a bit about it. I'm excited for it. It's probably going to be fun as hell. No doubt about it. Which is really what we're looking for. Is it going to be fun? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it going to be lore accurate? Probably not. Most of these 40k games kind of miss their lore. But that's the fun about 40k, is that Warhammer in general, fantasy and tabletop, 40k, etc., is that you can have fun with the lore. You can mix match some things. It's just that the whole Tyranid thing was so off, blown proportion wrong that I was like, whoa, I gotta make a video like stat. This is bad. So besides that, has been Free 700. I'm out. I hope you guys are not out. I hope you guys are in for the win. And subscribe down below. Hit the like button if you so need. If you hit the dislike button, only I know. No one else will know. Thank you, YouTube. Besides that, see you guys next time.